And documents released late last night give new details on a tentative agreement between the city and police. Louisville's proposed contract with the police union includes a big pay increase for officers, as well as several policing reforms. Grace McKenna breaks it down and tells us why city leaders are optimistic.
We've long awaited details on this new contract, and Metro Council President David James tells me it's one of the best he's ever seen. More than 50 pages spell out Louisville's proposed contract with police at a time when the city is more than 200 officers short.
There's ways to bring in new officers. I think that right now stopping the bleeding, as I'm saying, officers leaving is one of the big things.
Top of the list, the highest single-year wage increase in LMPD history, 9% more in 2022 for sworn officers and another 3% in 2023. Metro Council President David James, himself a former officer, hopes that will keep them in the city, but says state pension rules make it easy for officers to move.
That will be always something that we'll combat here in Kentucky.
Officers will also be paid extra for excessive overtime, and the city will offer a $5,000 incentive for officers to live in certain parts of Jefferson County, including much of downtown and West Louisville.
Overall, when you look at the contract, it's probably one of the best contracts I've seen in my entire life.
The plan would implement new discipline, oversight, and investigatory practices. One section, for example, gives Metro Government the right to live view body camera footage when investigating an officer.
I don't know that the changes that we see in the non-economic part of the contract would have even been discussed had what happened over the last year and a half had not happened.
Other changes, instances of bias and excessive force, could be considered in officer records permanently. There's new gender-inclusive language and mandatory drug and alcohol testing after critical incidents.
Significant changes in the area of when the police chief can suspend a police officer without pay. And I think that's a very significant thing for me.
The contract isn't set in stone. FOP members will have their say soon. If FOP votes to approve the new contract, Metro Council would need to hold a vote to approve it as well. In Louisville, for WHAS 11 News, I'm Grace McKenna.